Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Playdates and Travels, and if you are new to my channel, today is a big treat. My son wants to say hi, so he'll say hi too. Hello! Hi everyone, so this is Playdates and Travels. Again, I say do not mind the messy background behind me. My shelves are in the middle of being reorganized. However, I did put a lot of things on my shelf behind me, on the top shelf. You guys can take a sneak peek. Do you notice anything of particular repetition? A theme going on? My ears possibly might give you a hint. It's a little strange because I'm not wearing a Little Mermaid t-shirt. I thought about doing that, but honestly, the day that I'm posting this video is the day that Mulan comes out on Disney+. Leave a comment if you are watching it today or this weekend or very soon. If you haven't heard, Mulan was going to be released on Disney+ on September 4th, the day that I am posting this video. I am unsure whether we're going to buy it. We probably will, but right now I'm hesitant because I did also see the news that even though you can pay $30 right now to see it on Disney+, I mean, you have to be subscribed to Disney+ already, which I already was, but you pay $30 on top of your subscription you're already paying for. In December, they're going to release it anyway to everyone. So I'm kind of just like, maybe we should wait. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but I was really anticipating this movie, so leave a comment below if that's you too. He just wants to be held. At any rate, today is my long-awaited and promised Little Mermaid pinboard video. I have been talking about this since last year. I teased that I was going to do it very, very soon toward the beginning of 2020. Obviously, that never happened. However, I took that time to fill up the spaces of my board. So I will be showing you every single Little Mermaid pin that I own, that I have found in a box. If I left one out, then whoopsie, because I'm out of space pretty much. As well as my Ursula collection. I used to have my Ursula collection at the very bottom of my pin board, and then as I kept on collecting, I realized I didn't have enough space for that, so Ursula is on her own board. But at any rate, you will see today my Little Mermaid and my Ursula collection. So without further ado, let's get into the pins. Alright guys, so this is an overview of my entire Ariel pin board. I have taken the villains off of here, meaning no Flotsam and Jetsam, and very little Ursula pins because other than the clusters that have her, like that one, and I think she's in one over here, and she's right there as well. Other than those, there aren't Ursula pins on this board because I have put her on her own pin board. But we are going to go through these pins one by one. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. I actually just tried to count before filming, and I am fluctuating between around 200 pins and 210. So somewhere in the 200 mark is what I have on this board, which is a lot. And you guys can see there's not that much decor. I usually like to put a lot of decor on my boards, like in terms of postcards and whatnot, but there's just so many pins on here, I really couldn't do that. I had to give each one of the pins its own place to shine. So I'm going to go through these as best as possible, and let's do it. Okay, so starting over here in this corner, I have one of the Ariel related lattes with character pins. It came out in 2018, I believe. It was part of that whole pin series from the Disney parks, and it has Ariel in the form of latte character on top of the hot cocoa. You can see that the hot cocoa mug is formed with her tail and her fin, and then you have like flounder there on the bottom, and it's just really cute because you also have her purple seashell right there. I love that pin. So it's a fun little pin. I believe that came out in November or so, so it's toward the end of 2018. This is actually part of one of the Disney store sets, or one of the other sets that I have. This was from the same set. It might have been Shanghai. I'm not really sure anymore. I've lost track. Those are from the same series. I have a small little Sebastian pin. I tried to put my Ariel related PTD, Pin Share Delight pins here. So I have Prince Eric holding a shake. I've got Grinsby holding an ice cream cone, and then one of Ariel's sisters. That is literally all the ones that I have from the from that set, besides the one of her and Eric, which is further down the board, but I just love that. Oh, and then my other one is Ursula holding a bunch of ice cream sundaes in her tentacles. This is one of the few Ursula pins on this board because I thought it would go with the ice cream Pin Share Delight pins. And then I do also have this flounder one that came out last year as well. So I do have a small collection, none of the ones of Ariel by herself, but I am very proud of these PTDs because they are hard to get hold of. This is one of those gaming pins that if you move it, it changes depending on, you can see her fins moving. She's swimming. So it's one of those like I heart gaming pins, excuse me. That is one of the pins that came out November 12th, 1989 is the year that the movie opened, and the date. I got that from, I don't remember, but I have that. This is part of those packs sold in the park, so I have one of those. Underneath here is a button set from BoxLunch. I think it was a mystery set, and I got an Ariel one. Love that. This is a pin from Paris, and it's like the Fleur de Lily effect. It has her in a nice like drawn style that's kind of cool. This is an open edition from the Disney store, I believe. And this is an open edition pin that is sold currently in the park. So they have the different princesses in front of the castles. And of course I had to get the Ariel one. This one right here is actually a Hot Topic pin. So you can see that I have pins from all over there on this board. This is a pin lanyard. Actually is it's called a bolo. And this was gifted to me by my friend Arturo. He's a cast member who gave this to me knowing that I'm a big Ariel fan, so appreciate that. This is actually a D23 pin. This was released at D23, and it's the variant. There are an open edition effect of this as well, but the difference here is that the back is all this color. It's the color variant. So it says D23 Expo 2019. This was an LE size of 300, and it's a jumbo. So I actually got the very last one of these available on the day that I went, and I was very proud of that because these sold out very, very fast. And then you can see it has Ariel and her sisters. Love that pin. However, not too far down, I have another variation of that, Ariel and her sisters, and this is actually a fantasy pin that was made from Who's It and What's It's pins. And you can see she has all the sisters here as well. So I do really like this pin, and I had pre-ordered this before I had the chance to get this one, but you can see the styles are so similar. Like, look at what fantasy pin creators can create. And she came out with this design before they announced this one, so I thought that was kind of cool. This is another fantasy pin. It has A for Ariel, Sebastian, Flounder, and then Ariel in her purple dress, and then Ariel just looking stunning. Love this pin. Not really sure who the pin creator is. I did get that from a live sale, but I love it. Below it, I have another one of these pins. I believe this is from the Shanghai set or so. She looks gorgeous there in this stylized drawing. You've got just like the leaves from Kiss the Girl, and Sebastian is there on a lily pad. Little baby Flounder. I have a lot of those. This is actually an open edition, well, it's an limited edition pin from a pin seller, Kraken Trade. They were selling that for a while, and so I did get that one. I think it's an LE of 300 or so of Ariel and Flounder together. It doesn't say, maybe it was open edition, but I do know this was an exclusive on Kraken Trade's website, so I did go ahead and get one of those. This is a open edition pin sold at Disney Studio Store Hollywood. It's Ariel sitting in her blue dress, one of my favorite looks of her, and she's sitting on a bunch of film reels because Hollywood Studios is all about their movie theming, so I do like that a lot. This is one of the love letter pins. I was really trying to get this for a long time, so I was very excited when I finally did get a chance to order this from eBay. And it does have a purple love letter design, and you can see there's Eric and Ariel on that side, a little heart in the middle, and when you pull this up, it's a hinge. You pull it up, the letter reveals the message, "You are my world." So that is actually a really cool design. It's like a little love letter. And this, I believe, came out in 2016 or so, LE 3000, but the Ariel one in particular was really hard for me to find for a while. So I was very happy when I finally found a good deal. This is like a Flounder, a little baby Tsum Tsum version. That's a Tsum Tsum version of Sebastian sold in the Tsum Tsum packs. There's a picture of Ariel with the diamonds behind her from the diamond anniversary of Disneyland with the hidden Mickey, very cute. That is from that series of little like messages and the princesses. This one says believe. Then I have Ariel in the teacup. I also traded for this one, an older style pin. And this one says Ariel here as well. So I have a lot of small pins like that. This one is from Hallmark, actually. Hallmark came out with a bunch of princesses. I believe that was one of the ones from there. This says Ariel and Prince Eric, 1989, the year the movie came out. This is one of the animator pins that came out recently. I had to get the Ariel one, was very excited to get that. There's Flounder looking very fun right there. This is an open edition pin. This is one of the wedding dress pins from the BoxLunch dress series pins. This is one of the pins that I'm most excited about. It is a cluster, and it is a WDI pin, which means that this was exclusive to cast members. You guys can see the signature sorcerer hat design on the back, Walt Disney Imagineering, and it says exclusive, limited edition size of 250. So that is pretty awesome, and I just love the pins that have multiple characters together. I forget how I came across this point, but it's got Ariel and Eric, my favorites. You've got Max, Sebastian, Flounder, and Scuttle. Love it. Love having Scuttle on a pin. How to get that. This is a fun sticker. I think my friend Shasta sent me a bunch of these, and I love it. This is one of the VHS pins that the Disney parks came out with. It has a little mermaid. It kind of does a replica of what the VHS used to look like, minus the questionable scene. But you've got Triton, you've got the undersea castle, you've got Ursula looking really menacing. That's actually a fun pose of her. Ariel and Eric down here, Sebastian and Flounder. And when you open this up, you've got the Little Mermaid VHS right in the center. So it's really fun. And then Flounder is embossed on that side. So a very cool pin. I love these VHS series. I actually have almost all of them. I'm not a full completeness on that. This one is actually from Japan. I love Japan's pins because they have a stylized look to Ariel's face. And I love that it says Ariel and has her hair in kind of like a pinkish tint. This is a Hidden Mickey pin, one of her sisters once again. I have a Hidden Mickey Ariel that took me forever to find this. And then this I also was able to trade for from the park, so very cool. This is actually a fantasy pin from Disney Chris. Love her as well. I love all the balloons. This pin costs like $30 and it's huge. So I was very excited to get that pin. This is a D23 pin as well. They had a 4-pack of pins that were released in that event, and this is the only one that I was able to purchase from eBay, or that I really wanted to purchase. They were kind of expensive at the time, but I wanted the one of her in her wedding dress giving Flounder a kiss. I just love this look so much, so I did go ahead and purchase this online, and you can see it does say D23 Expo 2019 color variant. And yeah, they did come out with a series at the parks. It wasn't the color variant, but I have the D23 versions. And also back to this pin with the big balloon one. I love that she has a Mickey pretzel that's half eaten and the Disney D on her sweater. I mean, just very, very modern look on Ariel with the green bow on her Mickey ears. I just love that pin. And it's a fantasy pin. Down below is one of those Ralph Breaks the Internet Ariel pins. She does have the Who's It's and What's It's galore shirt on her. And I was able to trade for that. Really cute. There's a little Vanellope in the bottom. She's the only non-Little Mermaid character I think that's on this board, or unless I put my Stitch one. Oh, and Mickey Mouse. There's a Mickey Mouse one here too. So I have a couple of just cameos from other characters. There's that that fantasy pin of the sisters. Below that is another fantasy pin. This is actually a profile of King Triton, and he looks fierce right there. I love that he has the trident in his hand, and he just looks massive and huge. He was always so big and powerful and kind of scary and domineering, and reminded me a lot of my own dad. So I have like a little affinity toward him, and what's cool is that you can see his castle is like etched very, very slightly behind him, so that's a really cool pin. This down here is a Smooth Talker, Silly Sidewalker. That is an open edition pin set that came out from the Disney store. A couple years ago, I was able to get that for free, sent to me from a live sale, which is awesome. This is one of the cast member What's My Name pins that I open up in a different video. I'll put that above, but I did get one of the Sebastian ones with his little claw. Pretty cool. There is a Current Mood pin with Sebastian. Awesome. This pin right here is another fantasy pin. It's from Main Street. Made on Main Street or something like that. I will try to put her name on the screen. I'm so sorry I'm butchering that, but she is a fantasy pin maker, and she came out with this whole like teacup series. So I do like that it's a teacup that is based off of Ariel's whole like aesthetic, and then you've got purple bubbles because Flounder is taking a bath. Below that is a Disney D Ariel pin from the Diamond Celebration. There's another one of Sebastian floating on a clamshell. This is one of those perfume bottles from the Disney Studio Store Hollywood. I traded for that one. That is another pin from Hong Kong. This is the Hong Kong balloon series with Flounder. I love this pin. Was able to get that one. This is one of those Piece of History pins from the Disney parks. I actually was able to trade for this as well. I have done a lot of great trades for my Ariel board in the past couple years, but there is Ariel and Eric sitting on one of the Kiss the Girl boats. I love that particular song, and I do have a number of pins now with this particular look, so I love it. There's a Little Mermaid on there, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. So that in the center, that little bubble, is like a piece of cork from the ride. Pretty awesome. This is one of the pins that was released in D23 as well. This is a statue of Eric and Ariel, and I was not able to get this one. I think it was sold out, but I was able to get that from the Disney sisters. They sent that to me from the pin event from Disney World, so I appreciated that. This is one of the Disney Christmas pins. It is the Home series, and you can see it is of Eric's castle. I happen to love Prince Eric's castle, love the detail on there, and then it has the crashing of the waves behind it. It's just so iconic. If I could live in any Disney castle, I would pick Prince Eric's. I just think it's such an amazing castle. Has always been one of the best parts of going back to the new Fantasyland in Magic Kingdom. I just happen to love that area. This right here is another fantasy pin. It is from Squirrel or something. Let's see. Yeah, it's like right there. It is from Secret Squirrel, LE size of 25, and I actually got this via trade. I'm sorry, the reflection glare is weird. But I got this pin from a trade from Disney Kitty, and I happen to love this pin. I remember when she first showed it on her channel, and then she happened to just have it for trade later, and I was like, can we trade for that, please? I love this fantasy pin so much. I love this outfit in the glitter, and her hair in the bow, and then the castle behind her. I mean, this is just an amazing pin. So awesome, awesome trade. Very happy I was able to get this. I think Becca got my Judy Hopps pin from there, so not a bad trade for her either. This is Ariel in her Ralph Breaks the Internet outfit. You can see that she has a flounder on her shirt, so cute. And it's from another independent seller. Her name actually is Pretty Geeky Pins. You can see her handle right there. Pretty Geeky Pins, and this was an LE size of 75. I believe I got a B grade, but I don't even know what's B grade about this because I think it's amazing. So I was very happy to finally get my hands on one of her pins. They're amazing. Above that is an Ariel's Greeting Grotto. That is a Japan pin that was sent to me. Love that. There is a Paris pin with Flounder with a flower in his hair. Cute. There is one of Ariel. There's the statue of Eric from BoxLunch. That sweet pin is from the Disney Parks, part of a 2-pin set that said sweet and salty. The salty one is on my Ursula board. Let's see what else we have. I'm trying to just scan over here. This pink dress is another one of those BoxLunch pins. Above that is one of my newest pins. It's from the Wishables collection, sent to me from my friend Yvonne. Thanks again for sending that one. So excited. I do have the Wishables Flounder one as well, and I don't have it on this board yet. I need to add it. Oh my gosh, I just realized. There is one of Ariel with their hands up in the air, her dancing friends during the Under the Sea scene. This is a fantasy pin, another one from Who's It's and What's It pins. She's based in Ireland, and she's amazing. If you are an Ariel pin collector, I suggest you follow her on Instagram. She makes so many Ariel pins. This one's called The Father's Love and has Ariel hugging King Triton. I love this pin. It was perfect for Father's Day. Arrived just before that holiday too, which is great. Below that, I have one of Ariel with Flounder, again with the bubbles. This one is actually a summer 2020 pin. One of the pins released online, one of Shop Disney's most disastrous online releases. I was happy I finally got this one because I wasn't lucky in some of the other 2020 releases from the past couple months. I do not have the cereal pin with Ariel, and I do not have the one on the ride with her. So if anyone has that for trade, please hit me up. I don't have those. This is another one from Who's It's and What's It pins. You can see it's a purple dress Ariel. I love it. I got it from a pre-sale, and I think she's stunning. You don't see too many pins of her coming out of the water, and I love that look. This was one of the Artland pins that was released earlier this spring, and I pre-ordered this directly from Pulse Gallery, and really glad because it's sold out from all the US sellers. So I got mine from the UK, direct from the official gallery that sells Artland's pins, and I just love Ariel and Flounder on her face. I think it's stunning. Her hair is just like sketched. It's awesome. This was a pin from Kraken Trade. They also released this one recently on their site. It's Ariel holding a clamshell. I think she looks beautiful there. This is an I Collect Princesses pin. Since it has an Ariel one on the inside, as well as some other princesses I do collect, I do have it on this pin board. The one in particular I'm talking about, you can see it's like a pin bag. And when you open it, it's got a bunch of different icons from princesses. The one of Ariel is the most stunning to me because I actually have this pin. These are all other pins that have come out from Disney, and if you collect princesses, is one that you wanted to keep in mind. Oh, it also has the Mulan comb. Love it. But, so that is the only, like robust pin I have on here. Another Ariel sticker. This is one of the Ariel fall pins that came out last year, around October. My friend Arturo got me this one as well. It was a Disney Employee Center pin, and really excited that I was able to get that one. It just looks stunning with her holding the mask, like a masquerade, so that's a fun pin. This pin above that is from Hong Kong. You can see it does say Hong Kong Disneyland below the Little Mermaid sign, and it is a Kiss a Girl scene, and there is little sparkles. Love this pin so much. This here is a sticker. It is from an independent seller, the one that made the chibi pins up there. I'll have to show you guys her name on the screen. Her name is escaping me, but I love that I have the sticker. So I do have the Eric one on this side, and then I have the Ariel one on that side. Speaking of art, I have this beautiful Sebastian card that was drawn for me from NZ Cole. It just came back to me. The name of this creator is Wonderful Things Co. She created these stickers as well as the chibi pin. I'll show you up close a little bit in a second. And Ears is Full of Magic. Nicole, she's amazingly talented. I love that she draws these art all the time, and she sent this to me first early on a couple years ago, and she's amazing. So this is a fig pin, my very first fig pin of Ariel in the green dress. I had to put it on my pin board, and I love that she is combing her hair. They released one at D23 that sold out before I got a chance to get it, but I did get this one. This is the open edition style of Ariel, and it was only $15, so not too bad. Walmart actually had this on their website. This is a button of the chibi form, another thing from Wonderful Things Co. Love it. This is a Hong Kong pin right there. It's of a crown and Ariel with a bubble and then like a little dangling clamshell feature. Kind of a cool pin right here. Over here I have another one of those Chef Louis ones from the What's My Name character pins. I have this pin from the puzzle series of Ariel that came out before I started pin collecting, but it's Ariel just singing Part of Your World in the water. I happen to love that pin. Great find. This is the most expensive pin on my board. She is worth like upwards of $600, and this is a pin from the Disney Employee Center. It was released and sold out so fast, and I had to trade so many pins to get her. I love this pose of Ariel though, of her just like crowning Flounder in her arms. It's a beautiful like crown detail on the top, and then a nice teal background. I can't believe this pin was so hard to find, but it is literally probably one of the most expensive pins I own in my collection, just based on what it is worth. I still saw like eBay listings the other day and they were selling for $600, and you can see here it is an LE size of 200. It's not even the smallest LE size that I own, but this particular pin was so hard to get my hands on, and you can see it's 3D, pin on pin. I was able to get this from my friend Evelina. She's one of my good pin friends. She actually just messaged me the other day asking if I wanted another Ariel pin, and I was like, actually no, but thanks for reaching out to me because she knows I love Ariel. This is the only pin that I got from the 30th anniversary online surprise release from Disney Studio Store. I got the one of King Triton, which is awesome. I love his trident. I would love to get more from that series, but this is the only one that was available before it sold out, so it is next to my little Triton section here. This is a Acme pin. I have Acme pin of 140 of 500. Yeah, there were 500 of these made. I have pin 140, officially licensed, from Acme of Ariel and Max. You can see next to that is one of the shield pins of Ariel. This is an open edition You Mermaid for Me of Eric. Love that pin from Disney Store. There's one of Max, either from BoxLunch or from another set. There is a Disney duo, Henry and Mickey from the parks, and you've got Scuttle and Flounder. Scuttle and Sebastian. Next to that you have Ariel reading a book to Flounder, another pin of King Triton, a glittery pin of Ariel on the Rock from BoxLunch, and then one of Prince Eric playing the flute, and a little pin of Scuttle as well from BoxLunch. So I have pins all over here. This one over here is another Disney Chris pin. I have a lot of pins from her. She made this like one of both Ariel and Eric. Ariel is holding his flute and he is holding the Snarf Black, and they are side by side. I love that series. I think I traded for that pin as I didn't actually buy it myself, but that was a great trade. Then I have the Human World is a Mess pin, another one from the parks. Here is this gorgeous postcard that I had from Tokyo Disneyland. I happen to love this particular print of Ariel, and you can see there is King Triton in the background and all the different creatures in the under the sea scene, all the bubbles. It's a beautiful postcard, so I do have that on this board. Speaking of foreign things, I also have this pin with the flowing hair. That is a Japan pin, part of a 3-pin pin set. This is a pin that formerly lit up. I got it from a live sale. It does not light up now, but it is still an awesome pin of her from the... Maybe they're not really supposed to light up, and they were supposed to be bubbles. They weren't really sure, but at any rate, it's a cool kind of pin. Another Japan pin is right there. That is Ariel from Japan with all the little like diamonds and gems and whatnot, gemstones, so that's cool. Next to her is a flounder pin from BoxLunch. So a lot of pins, just continuing a theme on this board. Back to this side, this is another one of those pins from the Japan set with the heart and the pink washed out look. They just have such beautiful flowy, like ethereal pins from Japan. This pin right here is Scuttle, and Flounder is actually another pin from D23, one of the pins that was released. So that's kind of cool. This pin here is another pin from Japan, I believe. This like seashell with Ariel that's raised. It's actually a pin design, in that she goes into the pin. See the two prongs right there? And it's got a little like clamshell and star. So that's a kind of a cool, neat pin. I've never actually seen too many pins like this. And I got this from a live sale. She's kind of just like a 3D effect. That is Ariel playing with Flounder right there. This pin of Max, it says, I don't know, he looks kind of hairy and slobbery to me, is actually a fantasy pin that my friend Christy from Christy's Corner got for me. I love this pin. It's so funny and cute. So thanks again, Christy, for that. Above that is a fantasy pin from Who's Its and What's Its. Once again, it is her spring Ariel pin. Ariel in her blue dress holding a butterfly on a rock. Just really beautiful. I love that look. Over here is another Disney Chris pin. This was her, like, you know, heroes versus villains type of series that she came out with, and you've got King Triton versus Ursula. There's nothing more awesome than that, so she had to go on this board because it has Triton as the good side as well. I just love that. This pin of Ariel coming out of the water is from BoxLunch, one of the mystery pins from that BoxLunch set. I did the ones below that. This is Ariel on a rock, another one of those pins from that Shanghai set, I believe. This one next to that is a pin of Ariel. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, this might have been Acme. Nope, it says Disney. So it's a Disney 2008 pin, just older style. I just don't even remember where I got half my pins from. That is a BFFs pin with Ariel and Flounder. I got that from the BFFs collection from Disney Parks. That is a Flounder ice cream pin. I got that from a trade from the parks. That is an Ariel purse. Also got that from the parks. This Eric right here is from the BoxLunch set. This Ariel right here is from the Windows of Magic series. And she was really hard to get. But I did go ahead and get this early on. I know that we waited for this pin, me and Rita, when it was released, and we were not successful. I had to buy this from a seller. But it does have the dingle hopper down there. It's got the amulet that steals her voice, and then you also have a little bit of Sebastian's like claw-like character in the windows. It's just really pretty, like mosaic art, and you can see it right down there. There's an LE size of 2000. Yet these pins were nuts when they were released. The complement to their dark section, the Windows of Evil series. So this was the Heroes that came out. Next to that is a huge jumbo Acme pin of Ariel with Eric in the dancing scene. I love that pose so much. This was a Hot Topic chibi Ariel that I had to get. This was an LE size of 10. Only 10 of these were made from Who's Its and What's Its once again. So she made this one, so many on this board. But she did this variant of Eric kissing Ariel for the 30th anniversary. I had to get that. Above that is an A from one of the letter series from the parks. Above this I didn't show, but I have these three kind of like portrait style of Ariel and Eric on either side of the wedding and the statue, and then in the middle is a Valentine's pin that came out in 2018. It says, "You Mermaid for me, Valentine," and it's got the date 2019, excuse me. But I love that pin a lot, very cute. This is another pin that was super, super hard for me to trade for, and I got it from my friend Evelina once again. It is one of the Disney Studios store wedding style pins, and it is Ariel in her wedding dress with Eric looking so dapper, and of course Max, and then you have like the little like, you know, just the bow curtain below them. It just looks really cool, and I love this pin. I do have one other wedding pin from the series, and it's the one of Jasmine and Aladdin, because I just think that they're stunning, but this is such a fun series. LE size of 300. Only 300 of these made from Disney Studio Store Hollywood, and I love this pin. Going further north, I have a character block pin from Disney Studio Store. I've showed this on my channel multiple times, but I love that it has all the different characters in black and white contrasted. Love that pin. I have another pin from, I believe that's a Hong Kong pin or open edition. I'm not fishing for a compliment with an open edition. This is one of my most recent pins from Hong Kong, just released as part of a set, and I just got this one of Ariel with the flowing hair. You guys can see there's like a theme. Like when they're released in Shanghai and Hong Kong and Japan and like that, they just have really cool artistic flair to them. There is one of Ariel kissing or hugging Daddy. It says Happy Father's Day 2007. One of my favorite holiday pins because it has her and Triton. Love that. There's another pin of Ariel and Eric. It's actually a 2-pin set from BoxLunch. So you have them in that dancing pose right there. And then that was the second pin. It says Happily Ever After. I do have this fun pin from the Disney store of Flounder with the little bubbles coming out of his mouth. This is actually a mermaid inspired pin from Azusa. And she has these really cool mermaid type of pins. I love this one of like her clamshell bra in a Mickey ears form. I have one of those damsel posters. It says swimsuit season. It's swimsuit season for Ariel. Let's do a close-up. The seaweed is always greener. Seaside getaways. Don't flounder. Flip your fins and flatten those abs. Dive into swimsuit season. Disneyland, April 2008. The cute series, actually. Love that. Above that, I have one of the movie poster pins. This is the Little Mermaid one. Had to put that on this board. This is a pin from KS Villains, another fantasy pin seller I love. It's like the Kiss the Girl scene behind her with all like the water effect. So beautiful. The girl who's behind this is actually a college student trying to pay her way through college, so I was very happy to support her pin sale. And this is actually a stunning pin with Flounder and Sebastian as well. My favorite scene from all of Little Mermaid is the Kiss the Girl scene, if you guys haven't gotten that just yet. So pins that commemorate that are amazing. To say KS Villain pins on the back, and I was very excited when this pin finally arrived. Below that is another pin from the D23. It's King Triton pulling the sleigh of fish. I used to have another pin here, but I took it off to put it on my Ursula board. That's okay. I usually put a pin of Eric in the meantime there, but I took it off just to film. This is another Disney Chris home pin. It is of the Undersea Castle. This is my favorite home pin of hers. I just love the bright coral behind her, behind the castle. I just think it looks stunning, and there's so much detail. And again, you've got the Dinglehopper on the very bottom. I mean, if you are a fan of this castle, you have to have this pin. The stunning colors are amazing in person and even on camera. This is a pin from a pin training event that I have. It's a spinner pin, so all these different icons spin. And you do have Eric and Flounder and the rest of the gang, and it was part of a live sale, so I did get a chance to get that. Sebastian, Ariel, one of the animator pins of her and Flounder together, so that's cool. Oh, before I said this was an animator pin, excuse me. This is the animator pin style that came out from Disneyland Paris. They had a whole series, and I got the Paris version. And this is the one from our US Disney Store version, not to be confused, so sorry about that. This is one of the VHS pins that came out. It does not open, although it looks like it would, but it's just a open edition pin, and I was happy to get the Little Mermaid one from that as well. This is the new crown pin that just came out. You can see it's Ariel's tiara. Love that. This was a pin that I got from Japan of Ariel and Flounder. This is a clamshell, part of a 4-pin set. I have the rocks pin that I showed you from the I Collect Princesses pin. I have it. There's one of Ariel with the shell. This is from the Bows collection from BoxLunch. This is one of the hot cocoa pins that were so popular last Christmas. And you can see this is the Ariel one. I was able to trade for this. Thank goodness. So excited about that pin. I was so excited. This is a 60th anniversary Diamond Celebration pin of Disneyland from their 60th anniversary a couple years back. And you can see Ariel perched on the rock. Love that pose. This is the Chibi pin from Wonderful Things Co. that I was talking about before. And you guys can see it's like a chibi form. It's very cute. And she has the blue dress and little sparkles in her hair. Love this pin. I do have another puzzle pin, and it's of Eric in front of the boat. I believe I got that from my friend Gina. Thank you again. This was a Beach Club resort pin that I happened to get when I went to Disney World around 2018, around Christmas time, and it's Ariel on the interior, which is why it's on this board. One of my only Christmas pins that I did put on here because it had Ariel. This is one of those pins that I was really trying forever to trade for. I think I just eventually purchased it. But it is a Timeless Tales series, and it's got the Little Mermaid on the front. Then you open this up, the book cover reveals both Ursula and Ariel. Again, another fun pin. I love hinge pins, so I had to include that on this board. This is another pin that was just released. It's from the 30th anniversary. It's a Disney Employee Center. This was a cast release, so only cast members could get this pin. So not Disney Employee Center, but only cast members, and I got this from somebody via trade who's in the Walt Disney World area, so that was kind of cool. This is an Acme pin of Ariel and Flounder. The only Acme pin that I don't have of Ariel that I really want is the one of her in the blue dress, looking stunning with the bow. If anyone has it for trade, please reach out to me. That is one Acme pin that got away. This is a Hot Topic open edition pin that I got, the one of the clamshell with Ariel's flower. This is a Pin Trading Delight, Pin Trading Night pin, excuse me, from one of those events last year, Ariel in the water, and she can see Prince Eric's ship and the fireworks in the distance, so cool. There's another pin of Ariel in the green dress. So there were a couple of pins that I did trade for twice, accidentally. I did not do it on purpose, but sometimes you do that by accident. I might have two of those. I don't see it again, but it's having deja vu. At any rate, here is a pin that is of Ariel's castle. You can see her undersea castle on the front of this pin. Kind of a cool, older style pin. I got this from a pin sale once again. And when you open it up, it's a locket, and there is little Ariel on the inside with her name. Yay! An older style pin, but a goodie. Below that pin, I have this pin. It is a Once Upon a Time pin from the collection that Disneyland came out with a couple years back, and you can see Ariel versus Ursula, and when you open the hinge, you have Ariel and Eric in wedding form. So it's fun to have these hinge pins. I do have almost all of the pins in this series, or a lot of them at any rate. And this is the only one that I actually kept on this board because it fits the theme. Below that is the Ariel guitar pin. This is from the mystery pin collection that came out in the parks. They're a lot smaller than I thought they would be, but I still love the Ariel one with Flounder on it as well. Very cute, and you also have the amulet as the top of the guitar right up there, so that's cool. And then below that is a Kiss the Girl scene, and this is from a Disney Store pin set, I believe. Another one from those open edition Little Mermaid Disney Store pin sets. This is another Japan pin. Love it. This is a pin that was sent to me, I think from Kat, because she knows that I like Ariel. It says Splash and has the icon for California Adventure behind her, which is awesome. I have this one that says Under the Sea, Ariel's Adventure. It's an open edition pin from the park. That's fun. This is another piece of history pin, and it's of the wedding scene with Ariel and Eric. And this one has a piece of, it tells you, it's a piece of Ariel's wedding dress. Oh my goodness. From the attraction itself. So that's kind of cool. It moves around and you've got a little piece of her wedding dress in that. So that's awesome. This is a Max from the open edition BoxLunch Mystery Series, but I do have this Max. It's a big jumbo Max, and this is from the Disney Dogs Oh My Disney boxes that came out last year, so I was so excited to get Max. He was my #1 choice. Really excited about that. Have I mentioned this pin already? I love the glitter on Ariel on this one in particular. She just looks stunning, and it is one of those pins from Shanghai or so, I believe. You guys can see the icon there. It says Shanghai Disneyland. And this is honestly one of the best pin collections I ever got. Well worth the money. The only one that I haven't covered really is the one of Ariel versus Mickey Mouse. You can see that they are having a dinner scene, so it's cute to have that little cameo from Mickey. And below it is a little dangle that says 1989. I got that from a trade as well. So that completes my entire Ariel collection. It is a lot of pins on here. I know I did a lot. I'm just doing a quick skin to see if I missed any. I got all the ones on the bottom, I believe. This was also a Paris pin, if I didn't mention that already. I think I got them all. The only one, that's from the Disney Store collection. This is for What's My Name collection with Ariel's fin. The only ones that I missed are these two. This is a fantasy pin. I forget the seller's name. I'll try to put it on the screen. But it was a nice pin. It's not my favorite. His face is kind of drawn a little strange, but it's cute enough. So it goes on the board. And then this one, oh my god, I nearly died when I saw this was posted online, and I was able to get like a B grade. So it's not as stunning as the A grade would be, but the light reflecting through the mirror effect is just so pretty. I love her hair here and her little bodice with the glitter. And then she is, of course, being embraced by Eric in the dress from the end of the movie right there. This is such a fun pin. And again, this is from, her last name is Passamani. I want to put her name on the screen so I don't butcher it, but I was so excited. It's an LE50. And this is just a stunning pin. You even have Flounder etched on the back all over the place. That's pretty cool. But yeah, just this pin was just amazing. And I'm very, very thankful to have gotten my hands on it because as far as fantasy pins go, it's one of my favorites. So that is my entire Ariel pin board. And now I can show you, finally, my Ursula pin board. I found my Disney Wishful Flounder pins. I put them in the corner, as well as my Eric, looks like sausages to me. But that is a Eric pin from one of the pin sets sold in the parks. I'm pretty sure that is a scrapper pin, though. That does not look real to me. However, someone had it for trade in the Disney parks, and since I do not have that particular pin already, I have a lot of other ones, but like this is one of the only ones I have from that set, or that's a different set actually, but I don't have that particular one is my point. So because I didn't have it, I have the scrapper version on my board until I get the real one. But the Wishful was sent to me from Yvonne. Thanks again for that pin. Love you, girl. And then because somehow I think I missed explaining this one to you as well, this is another Disney Chris one. It is a cluster with pretty much all the major characters from The Little Mermaid. You have Ariel there, Max, Eric, Ursula looking so fierce, Triton, and then Flounder at the very bottom, and Sebastian. And this was another one of those pins from Disney Chris that I was so excited to not miss out on. And I love this pin. It was worth every penny. I don't even care. Disney Chris is one of the most expensive fantasy pins that I have purchased a lot of, but they're just really, really good work. I mean, some of them come with flaws, but I love this pin. I love a lot of her pins, and this was amazing. That and like that one up there, those Disney Chris, they're just wow. And I think that is all the pins that are on this board. And my very last pin is actually on the wall. Look at the reflection. I'm going to take it off so you guys can see. In addition to that, the other pin that I have is this one. It's a button, actually. I have tape to put it on the board, but it's not really sticking, so I have to figure out another solution. But this is a button that was sent to me by a friend on YouTube as well, and it says, "You Mermaid" for me. I love this button so much. It is perfect for me. It is Eric looking so suave and handsome with his beautiful castle behind him, and then, of course, Max front and center, my favorite Disney dog. So because of this, it's just amazing. And yes, I said he was my favorite, although I really do like Lady and the Tramp. Max is just so lovable, so he's up there. This is a Little Mermaid pin. It's actually a pin, even though it is framed. I spent $140 on it, oh my goodness. And it is the D23 Expo version with the color variant, a jumbo pin frame set. It came framed like this, and I knew that I had to get it when I saw it. So that is Ariel and Eric on the Kiss the Girl scene, on the boat, and you can see the water effect is 3D. That's just kind of like popping out of this frame. And when I saw this was being released, I knew that I had to splurge for it. So this was by far the most expensive pin I ever bought for my Little Mermaid collection, and the one that's worth the most, of course, is Ariel and Flounder right there again. That pin right there. Whew. I'm just gonna place that there so that I can just get a broad stroke. This is all of my Ursula pins on one section. The only pin I'm missing is one that I have currently in a mailer that I haven't opened yet to do my magic mail, so she will be another addition. I'm trying to get an Ursula board that is shaped like Ursula to make this more unique, but this is what I have for right now. This is the Windows of Evil pin. You can see I had Windows of Magic, the hero. This is the villain one with Ursula, and it's just a cool, like, stunning side-by-side comparison of that. So that is on this pin board. I do have one of these puzzle pieces with her and one of the goons that she turned from a mermaid. This is a Hidden Mickey pin of Ursula. This is another Hidden Mickey pin of Flotsam and Jetsam. This I found for $3 at Walmart. Love that pin. This is a pin of Ursula looking really cute in her bodice. This is a fantasy pin of Vanessa. You don't often see too many Vanessa pins. I got this from a Disney Chris pin sale and just really like this pin. Ellie 50. I don't know the maker of these, but I do have another one of this in Madame Mim. This is a cast member pin. It says Ursula, and then in the center it does say 30 with Ursula's figure. And on the interior is Ursula coming out with a bunch of bubbles. I love this pin, and it was actually picked up for me from my friend Arturo when this was first released, so I am so thankful for that, and to make Disney friends through this experience who are fellow pin collectors just like me. This is one of those Seafoam Disney Drinks collection. That's the Ursula themed one, so I have that. I got that from a trade with Drew, one of my subscribers. This is a Wanted poster. It is another KS Villains pin. I showed you the one that she made before over here, but I had pre-ordered this one as well, and it is a Wanted poster of Ursula, and you can see that they're Ariel and Sebastian are right below that. This was a Halloween pin from last year, 2019 Happy Halloween. It's got Vanessa, and when you spin it around, there is Ursula. So a fun pin. I like that it has the clutches from Ursula's lair itself, so that's cool. I do have it set to the Vanessa side. though, to diversify my board. I have a Ursula that I got at some point, probably via trade. I have one of Ursula and Ariel that I got from trade as well. This is another pin from Who's It's and What's It's. It's kind of a scene. She has a whole series where if you got all this, it creates like a big figure. I can't afford to buy all these pins because they're like $30 each or so, but this is one of Ursula holding the amulet that she's capturing Ariel's voice. A very pivotal scene, and I just love it, and there is the logo in the back, by the way. You can see it has WW pins, but this is so, so cool. Love that scene capturing effect. I am waiting for one more pin from her that is also on its way currently from Ireland, and I just thought about that. This is a BoxLunch lenticular pin, so it moves. There's Vanessa. If I go over here, there is Ursula, and it's a mirror from that movie as well. So cool. This was a Hot Topic pin from the pin set that I got the Ariel clamshell before. This is the Ursula version. Pretty cool. This is from the Disney Villains backpack series. I am so excited I got this one of Ursula. I love this pin. She was my first pull. So exciting about that. This is a comic strip Ursula pin. It says, "In time, Ursula took matters into her own tentacles," and she's looking very scared there. So that's kind of a cool effect. I have these two next to each other. This is the BoxLunch version. This is the Disney Parks version of Ursula in the mirror, and you can see Vanessa is staring back at her. So that is a very cool scene indeed. I love the details on this, and I just love also, it says D23 Expo. Oh my gosh, I got this from D23. I don't even remember what I got at this point. So this was another D23 pin that I picked up standing in the long lines, but they did come out with this from the Disney Parks, but I had the D23 version, so that is awesome. But I love like how similar these two pins are. So the quality is really cool. This is an open edition pin from the Disney store that was sold a couple years ago with Flotsam and Jetsam and the little lightning bolt. Love that. This is from Pin Bake Shop. It is I just moved the lightning bolt out the way, oopsie. But this is a like 3-tiered wedding cake of Ursula and the crown and the amulet. I mean, it just looks so awesome. Even the top, the whipped cream has like Ursula's hair, which is pretty cool. So she makes these pins from Pin Bake Shop, a really cool fantasy pin seller. This is my newest Ursula pin, and it is the, just take it off. It is one of those emblems pins that came out, and you can see there's Ursula, very like cheerful right there. She looks so devilish. And on this side, it has the enchanted emblem itself, which is the clamshell amulet. But she just looks amazing. Focus. She looks amazing right there. And then all around the pin, it says like the lyrics to the song. So it's like, "Beluga, Beluga, come winds of the Caspian Sea. Lavengia, Chloriditis, something, Max Laryngitis. Et voce tu me." Now sing. I do not speak Latin, but that's basically what it says. Pretty cool. Then I have this postcard that was sent to me via trade, and I love it that it has Ursula on there so that I have it on my Ursula board. This was a pin, part of a 4-pin pack that was sold in Hong Kong. I purchased just the Ursula one because the girl who was selling it did split it up into 4 packs. So I was able to just get the one that I wanted, which is that one, which is really cool. This is a salty pin that the complement to the sweet pin that I talked about before on my Ariel board. So they're sweet. They're salty. This is part of an open edition pin set in Disney Parks. I have another one of Ursula. So one of them is from, it was $3, and I got it from Walmart. The other one is from BoxLunch. So you can see they're very, very similar pins. I have a hidden Mickey Ursula with her chin. I have this cool pin that my friend Christy sent to me because she knew that I love Ursula, and it's Ursula with the very sparkly tentacles in the bottom. This, I believe, was released at D23 or so. It was part of this like pin series they came out with. That's really cool. Really excited about that. I have a pin of just Vanessa by herself. This is part of the BoxLunch set. I have a Tsum Tsum Ursula right there. This is an open edition Ursula from the parks. This is a Disney Chris pin of Ursula and Vanessa mashed up together with the vine in the middle. So cool. She has a bigger version of this where it's like a circle behind her, but this is the one that I can afford. So I have that. This was another pin that was released part of Hot Topic or so. They had like a pin villain series. This is the Ursula one. I was very excited to get that. This was a pin that was released for Halloween in the parks, and you can see it's Ursula's lair. You open it up, and it has Ursula on the inside with her amulet looking very cheeky, and it says 2018 Trick or Treat. Above that is an open edition pin of Ursula, you know, on a red carpet, and she's taking pictures, and that's also from Disney Studio Store Hollywood. I think I covered all of them except for these two. Wow, so we're almost done with our Ursula board, but to complete this, I have this pin right here, which was sold in the parks last year. You can see it's just a silhouette of Ursula's face, and when you open it up, there she is, and it says, "You poor unfortunate soul." So cool. Nice that they had that for Halloween this year, last year. This year they probably won't have anything since Halloween's been canceled. That's another story. And then finally, the last pin is this 30th anniversary Ursula. This pin was sent to me by my friend Arturo. Once again, knowing that I'm a big Ursula fan and knowing that I didn't have this, he looked at my pin board, didn't see it, and sent this to me, which is such a sweet gesture. So I will never forget it, Arturo. Thank you again for that. And it's one of my favorite Ursula pins. Look at all of the little, like, mermaids waiting to get back into mermaid form, and then she's just looking so devilish. It says 30 on top. This is a gorgeous pin. It's got stained glass window. And on the back, you have the Disney Studio Store logo for Disney Studio Store Hollywood, LE size of 400. I mean, this is just an amazing pin and one of my favorite pins in my entire collection, so thank you for that. And that completes my entire Little Mermaid collection. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing both of those back to back. That was a lot of pins. I was promising this forever. Just a close-up look at my little background going on here. Dun, 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 dun. And it's not even everything I have to add to this. That was created for me by the Utley Family Adventures channel. Thanks again to Ashley for making that for me. So sweet. This is from the Little Mermaid concert I went to in May 2019. And there's my King Triton. I need to add to this, but that's what I have in my background so far, with more to come. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if we are pin twins on anything. That was my entire collection. I cannot believe I finally got that filmed. It took me forever. You guys can see I did do a count prior to filming, and it was around 200 pins or so on that board alone. So this is my biggest collection, my most prized collection. Sorry, my camera's shaking. This is my biggest collection, my most prized collection, the one that I have been trying to add to as much as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it. It has been a lot of fun collecting over the past couple of years. I started at the tail end of 2017, maybe not even. I think I started at the beginning of 2018, my pin collecting. So around February is really when it started for me, because that was when they released the Mulan pin from the Disney store, and I knew that I wanted it. I was like, God, I need that. And it has just been a whirlwind since then. So I've only been collecting for a little bit over 2 years, and this is my Little Mermaid collection alone. I have a lot of other collections that I can show to you. If you're into this type of video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know, and YouTube know, that you like this type of content. It will let me know if I should continue to film my pin collections. I was thinking of doing like a pinned on Fridays, just to kind of show you guys more of my pin collections in general. Let me know if that's of interest in the comments. Thanks again for all your support, guys. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye. Bye. Oh, and by the way, these ears, for anyone who's going to ask, these are my Moonlight Lagoon ears. I love her. Great small shop. Beautiful ears. They're stunning. Little Mermaid all the way. Bye, guys.